I'm so happy that you're with me. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I work at Gehl Architects here in Copenhagen. I've been doing so for 15 years. I'm a partner and director. We focus on everything in between buildings. The life, the streets, the public spaces and the social knitting of a city.
So the livability,
as
the others call it.
Yes, and well-being, maybe is a good word. How do we make cities that support the well-being of people?
Yeah, and how do we do that?
We listen to them and we anchor everything we do with the lived experience of a city. We need to find a way to bridge that gap between future innovation, technology, and this very lived experience of the everyday life. So we have to make it relevant and support the everyday life of people. If it doesn't, how would we get anyone to use it or adopt it or make it part of the culture? Most people would say they want to be able to live sustainable. It needs to be the most natural choice. Now we're in a bike, and if we ask people in Copenhagen why they bicycle, it's not because they want to do good for climate. It's not because it's cheap. Some people say that, but the majority of people actually say it's the easiest, it's the quickest way to get around.
You're talking about sustainability. What about air pollution?
We've had a really interesting project that we just presented at the C40 conference about focusing on air pollution in Copenhagen and on small children. We know that small children are so vulnerable because 90% of your brain actually develops before you're 5 years old. So just thinking how it can affect a developing child's brain. We have measured where small children spend time and move through the city when they're outside. And then Google AirView have measured air pollution in the city, and they've been doing that and still doing for over a year. And then overlaying those two datas, we can actually do something now about this. So we can try to find solutions of how to protect the most vulnerable from air pollution, but at the same time we can also do interventions so we invite people to spend more time where air is already better. So I find it fascinating when we can combine different knowledge, different data sets. So thinking about people, about equity, and then overlaying air pollution, finding ways to create synergy with the climate adaptation, synergy with creating more equitable city. If we can have a more holistic approach to sustainability, we can also get so much more out of all the improvements and investments we make in the city. I find also that there's a gap between city policies and strategies and the individual. Focusing on the neighborhood scale can make it more relevant to people because that's where you live your daily life. Can we adopt technology to improve neighborhoods and to strengthen communities as well?
So if you were to give one advice to the mayors at C40, from smaller cities and bigger cities and mega cities, what would that be?
Mayors need to be bold. They need to work together and understand how they can utilize each other and each other's strength and knowledge, and then find solutions together.